Thanks for staying tuned. This is the morning drive on Providence Television International. My name is Ugbebo Ikekwa, and this is actually the newspaper analysis segment. With me in the studio, I have Dr. Emmanuel Egariba. You're welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much. It's a public holiday in Edo State, and thank God it's Friday. A good time for everybody. Thank you.
Well, it really is a good time. Wishing all those out there quite a wonderful day. Before we continue with the newspaper analysis proper, we'll take this break.
At last, the glorious days of television are back. Welcome to Providence Television International, founded and powered by the one and only Emmanuel Egariba, the multiple award-winning producer. Providence Television International, reaching out to the world with very attractive and irresistible programs. With Providence Television International, it will be pleasure unlimited. We are also at your service for social event coverages and live streaming on our channel. You can reach us at our corporate headquarters, 42 Igbesaman Street, Benin City, or telephone 08033 511 599. And to connect with us on live transmission, simply log on to YouTube and then type Providence Television International and you're good to go. Subscribe and let us give you the utmost satisfaction on television. It's a promise. Providence Television International, the game changer.
Welcome. We are counting just a few hours to the gubernatorial elections in Edo State, and yes, there are expectations actually from not just the INEC but even the voters and the key players. And looking at the elections coming up in some few hours in Edo State, the front page of the Vanguard newspaper, where we have Edo make governorship poll credible. A rider to that effect says parties, CSOs, Christian Association of Nigeria, Jonathan, others, task INEC, police.
Well, we said this before, and I guess I'm having to say it again. The real issue is between INEC and the security agencies. And it's like everybody was reading my mind. But INEC is in the eye of the storm. They are the umpire, the neutral umpire, as it were. So everything stops at their desk. But the other peripherals, the agencies, for instance, will also make it credible. The election is a very important one. We have said it over and over again. It's important because, first of all, it's an off-cycle election. And secondly, all eyes are on Edo State, both at home and in the diaspora. And public holiday has even been declared today to enable people to travel to their various constituencies, which I think is a good one. So we are looking forward to a hitch-free election. We are looking forward to an election that will be fair, that will be credible. Credible because it will be a winning point for INEC if it is credible. The INEC chairman doesn't have to be in fetters. I've said that before. It should be lauded for a good job done. But if it's on the other side, then that will be unfortunate. Because there's a lot of re-laundering of image that has to be done following last year's election. Some people, many Nigerians are still groaning under the influence of what happened last year. Okay? So the INEC chairman, this is a golden opportunity for him to re-launder the image of INEC and to tell Nigerians that yes, they are capable. I'm happy that the election materials, vital election materials, have arrived. I hope they get to their destinations safely without any hindrance or impediment. And I also pray that they do not get into the wrong hands of mischief makers, for instance. The security agencies have been, I saw some of them yesterday patrolling the streets, meaning that they should be on top of their game, but we don't need to militarize. We are praying for a huge voter turnout. We're also praying for a good weather, and we are praying that at the end of the day, the winner and the losers should be able to throw soft banters at each other. That yes, there must be a winner in any contest, by the way. There must be a winner, there must be losers. and this is not it's not war, not even a war of attrition. So we are looking forward to a very wonderful occasion for the election, and I hope at the end of the day there will be no violence, and there will be no ballot box snatching. There will be no arson. Arson means burning of houses or burning of election materials, and there should be no inducement. Yes, that's the least we can tell the gladiators. The people out there should vote according to their conscience. I'm talking about the electorate. They should vote in accordance with their conscience and in accordance with their relationship with God. Because as I said yesterday, I mean, the whole thing is so graphic. You pick up the ballot paper and you go into the box. It's an open secret ballot system. You go into the box, it's enclosed. In some cases, they are not. But in most cases, they're enclosed. So you go there. What you do there, inside that little box, is between yourself and your conscience, and more importantly, between you and your God. And when you come out with a clean conscience. No inducement. I said yesterday, even jokingly, but it happened. When a woman where I voted had to show to everybody, particularly to some of the party agents, that yes, see, I voted for your party. Look at it. So let's go to the corner there and give me my money. And the gentleman said, look, the money is finished. And the woman said, no, you must give me my money because I've played my own part. And the fellow said, we are going for what do they call it now? Reinforcement, to bring in more cash. I mean, that is unbelievable for the electoral system. And I hope such things, such very absurd things, do not happen tomorrow. So we are using this opportunity to tell party agents they must behave properly and they must play according to the rules.
Well, to that effect, let's move straight to the Punch newspaper. Talking about inducements, the front page of the Punch newspaper, we have a poll. Military mans state boundaries. EFCC goes after vote buyers. We'll look at the riders to that story. Security agencies in show of force. Government declares today, Friday the 20th of September, a holiday. Materials arrive 18 local government areas. And so, you were talking about inducements. The EFCC already, the plans are there. EFCC goes after vote buyers.
Yes, both buyers and sellers. The electorate will be the sellers. They sell their votes, and in the process, they also sell their conscience. All right. I mean, every coin has two sides. So don't just go after the agents. Go after the people who want to be induced. Well, I won't say vulnerable. They are not vulnerable because they know what they are doing. And my advice is, how much is that going to change your lifestyle? With how much, by the way? Little amount of money, pittance. You say your conscience. So, but that is not right. And I'm happy that it's a headline story in the Punch, I think.
Yeah, the Punch newspapers.
Yes, good. And that recaps all that I said. I didn't even see the headlines of the Punch. So, but it has very clearly recapped all that I said a little while ago. As for the boundaries, good idea. Because some parties have talked about influx of miscreants into the state to come and cause mayhem, and I don't think that is right for any party whatsoever. The president, the commander-in-chief, has to put his feet down, because this also has a overriding effect on him as a person, as the president of the country. If the election does not go well, it rubs off on the president and his presidency. So the election must be hitch-free. I look forward, I've said this more than 10 times, I look forward to a day when after election, apart from throwing soft banters at themselves, people should not even go to court. Well, as a lawyer, I shouldn't say that, but that's what I want to say for obvious reasons. The reason being that, yes, at the end of the day, when there are handshakes and there's general applause, why must people go to court? The judges have a lot on their plate. I want to saddle them with tribunals and all sort of things. So, but that's what it is. And I plead with the gladiators that they should play according to the rules. And at the end of the day, I think everybody should smile.
All right. Moving away from gubernatorial elections in Edo State, we'll be going back to the Vanguard newspapers, where we have another good story there. Hardship. Nigerians petitioning for their lawmakers' recall. This is coming from INEC.
Did I hear you say good story? Well, maybe metaphorically speaking.
Metaphorically speaking. Yes.
Recall, because if you want to recall your National Assembly members or legislators for that matter, you must go through INEC. That's what the law says.
Yes.
And INEC is saying, yes, you should do it. They also know that some of the legislators are not playing according to the rules. I would wish that they even recall them 10 times over in certain circumstances. I mean, look at it, for instance. They just abandon their constituents. They are there for 4 years. They do not connect anymore with their constituents. And they just grab money and things like that. I mean, it's even been made worse recently. Everybody has known that senators earn over 20 million a month. And yet they neglect their constituents. Okay? Some of them do not care. They do not even have constituency offices. It's as bad as that. Okay? So, and there are opportunities. Don't wait until there's another election, because they will gather enough money to even distribute. That's what they do. Recall them. Recall them immediately. They will sit up. Recall them, and in any case, that will be a disgrace to them. You recall them, meet them, for example. And I'm happy that it's coming from INEC.
Yes.
Meaning that it's authentic. It's coming from INEC. INEC will even facilitate the process. All right? So it's a good one. I can understand why you said it's good news. It's good news, yes, for our psyche, national psyche. Exactly. Yes, and a lot of them shouldn't be in the assembly at all. And this is true. They have no business being there. No business. Some of them will go there, sit down for a whole 4 years. They can't raise a motion.
Okay.
Yes, they can't even contribute to meaningful discourse on the floor of the House. So what are we talking about? And yet they have their... You see, Nigeria is a very strange country. These same people will come back after 4 years. They want to go back. What? You know, and by the way, they know they should be the first judge if you have not performed well. It's like we say in broadcasting, you produce a program, you are the first judge.
Exactly.
Yes, if you have produced a bad program, you should know. If they have done poorly, they should know. And I think that's the reason why they amass so much money to distribute at the end of their term, which is strange and very ridiculous. So this has it has hyped up this system now. I mean, it should be all inclusive, whether it is in the House of Assembly, House of Representatives, or even the Senate. The power of recall is a very powerful instrument in the hands of the electorate. They have failed to use it. INEC, in fact, should even go further, enlighten the people that they have the power of recall. Once they step up the game as to what to do, and I'm sure that many of these people will behave properly. Yes, right now we are not getting the best from them. We are not, honestly.
Well, still on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper, hiked petrol price has rendered 70,000 naira minimum wage useless. This is coming from the NLC.
NLC is like a toothless bulldog now. Why are they shouting now? There are 70,000. They have been moved into a trap.
Okay.
Yes. And you see, because I always say it, and I said it many times on this program, immediately that announcement was made about subsidy removal, they ought to have reacted. They did not.
Okay.
And look at what has happened now. Is anybody talking about 70,000 anymore? No, nobody. Nobody is talking about 70,000 minimum wage anymore. Because there is a total destruction. Destruction is, let us get fuel.
Yes.
And in any case, the NLC had two options, very clear options. Or rather, they had an option. Don't remove subsidy, okay, on the one hand, but leave the salary as it is. Which one do you think is better than what we're having now? Yes, because you see, and again, look at the NLC. They are fighting for the public servants, civil servants. 10% of the population. What of the people who are privately employed? I mean, the common folks on the streets who are doing little businesses. How will the 70,000 benefit them? You're fighting for a population. I mean, we must tell ourselves some home truth. You are fighting for a population that makes maybe 7% in some cases. In some states, 7%, 8%. Or at best 10% of the entire population. And yet, it's the SMEs that hold the ace in terms of employment of people. And please, Jane, show that caption again. Show it again. Yes. And that's what it is. It's obvious that we haven't got it right. We haven't got it right at all. It's a pity that this is happening at this point in time. I look forward to a time when the price of petrol will drop.
Okay.
Once it drops, simple economics. Once it drops, other things will fall into place. We have said it many, many times. The clergy, they have spoken. Eminent statesmen, they have spoken. Well-meaning Nigerians, they have spoken on this matter. What has fuel done to the government? And it's a question to ask. Everybody is feeling the pinch.
Exactly.
Everybody is feeling the pinch. You know, even the Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò, Adams, he wrote a letter the other day to the president. Time is ticking.
Yeah.
Yes, whatever that means, I don't know. But he said time is ticking. I mean, you saw it.
Exactly.
Yes, it went viral. So we must, because we are in a mono economy.
Exactly.
And it's guided and controlled by a single product, which is petroleum. All our earnings, over 90%, come from petroleum. And once you touch that, you're touching the major vein in the economy of this country. And that's what is happening. I look at the game now that they are playing between Dangote and I had a good laugh this morning. I think I saw in one of the papers they are talking about 700 and something if it drops.
Yes.
That's not what Nigerians want. No, that's not. I'm telling you, because I buy fuel every day. That's not what they want. What they want is let it go down drastically so that people can get the benefit of what comes out of our soil in this country. A major oil producing country. We are not getting the benefit. Okay?
Well, talking about getting benefits, let us go down to the Daily Times. The front page of the Daily Times newspaper. Nigeria set to get $1.5 billion World Bank loan next week. And it brings me to the question. The World Bank, the IMF, are they friends of Nigeria?
They are not. They want to entrap you. Everybody knows that. Because that's a loan.
That's a loan.
It's a loan. It's not, there's no free gift or free lunch. That's a loan. And the loans are piling. Don't you know that? The loans are piling by the minute.
The loans are piling. And what are they being used for actually?
That's the problem. Editorials are written about this. Newspaper editorials, comments, opinions in the newspaper. They have all talked about this. Let us reduce our loan. Because you see, governments come and go. When Obasanjo was here, he went on an agreement that was debt relief.
Yes.
And then suddenly another government came and it shut up. Now, Buhari came piling up loans all over the place. And we must repay.
Definitely.
Yes. If you're indebted, you must repay. What are the terms of repayment? Because once you are indebted to a certain level, you lose your sovereignty.
Exactly.
You lose your sovereignty. You become a stooge.
The value of the currency.
It even drops. It drops. Because look at what IMF is doing. They want you to devalue your currency to suit their own purpose.
Yes.
They want to enslave you. That's what they are doing. Look at the young man in Burkina Faso. He has removed all those strictures. And they're doing well. They are doing very, very well now. So, I don't know. And you raise an issue. Once we take all these loans, what do we even do with them? What do we do with them? So, it's a problem, and I think we'll be able to solve it.
Going away from financial matters now, we'll be looking at environmental issues. On the front page of the Matrix newspaper, we have Lagdo Dam's flood alert. Tension as another disaster looms. Riders to that effect, food supply threatened as flood takes over Gombe-Yola Highway. Farmers, headers stranded. Another rider to that effect, move to higher grounds. Federal government warns Nigerians.
Ask yourself, am I not becoming a prophet? Because
you actually talked about this some days ago.
Yes, 1 or 2 days ago. I talked about this, that the effect will spill over.
Exactly.
Yeah, to a few other neighboring states.
Yes.
And it's happening now
already.
An alarm
Gombe-Yola Highway.
Yes, blocked.
Exactly.
Look, I was watching a clip on one of these foreign stations yesterday. What has happened in Maiduguri is such that people should weep. Animals, dangerous animals from the zoo. They went to the streets. Lions, crocodiles, ostriches.
Yes.
Yeah, pythons. They went to the streets. That is on the one hand. What of epidemics?
Exactly.
Epidemics, obviously, particularly for contagious diseases, they will spill over to neighboring states. And this thing was preventable for 9 years. 9 years. We mentioned it on this station, on this program. 9 years, the defect was there. And government has been voting money every year.
100 million.
100 million on the average each year. What have they done with it? I mean, if I were the president, I would set up a probe and bring those people to book. What have you done with 100 million every year? Look at the lives we have lost. Nigerian lives have become meaningless. Totally meaningless. But I'm happy though. The United Nations General Assembly will be coming up. Yes. The president said he's not going. I think he's having some good handlers now. Not to digress, but it's important to mention that he wants to look at domestic issues. That's important.
Yes.
He has a lot of issues confronting him now. The fuel crisis is there. The Maiduguri issue is there. The dam in Cameroon is there. It's coming over into River Niger. He has a lot on his plate. And I was happy when I heard that, no, the vice president, you can go there. That's the way it should be. That's governance. Okay?
Yes.
So, the issue of Maiduguri, it has become a national calamity.
It has.
Which was avoidable.
Yes.
Yes. Totally avoidable.
And you actually raised a point. Where is the minister that is supposed to be in charge of?
If he's not sacked, they ought to, in a better climate, the minister ought to have resigned. That's under his purview. The Minister of Water Resources ought to have resigned, even without any prompting. But that's what we are in this country. Even when there's a major crisis, you sit pretty.
And no statement has come from him.
No statement? What statement do you expect? You don't expect any statement. Bad governance. Because the Minister of Water Resources and other allied agencies should have gone by now. Yes, because that situation in Maiduguri, you need to see the pictures. I've been
able to cover across some of them.
Yeah, you need to see the pictures. Some of them are so gory. Yeah. Obviously we can't show some of them on the station. They are very gory pictures.
Definitely.
Yeah, they affect people's sensibilities.
Yeah.
And people will weep. But that is what is happening. We are only just being moderate to talk about it without being graphic. Yes. Well, following professionalism. See, but that's what it is.
Some of the survivors are even complaining that they've been moved from the camps now. So where do they go to?
There are problems in the camps.
There are problems in the camps.
Oh yes, there are problems. You remember I said something yesterday. In the next few days, I just hope it doesn't come to pass. When you have a major crisis like this, coupled with the fact that people are hungry and there's famine, there will be exodus from this country, mass exodus into neighboring countries, movement of the people. They want to escape. The Sudan issue, it's a glaring example. When people were dying from drought.
Yes.
This is not even drought now. We're talking about famine and disasters from the dam. So, but we pray we don't get there. We just pray we don't get there.
Well, on this note, I want to say thank you so much for staying tuned. The interview session comes up next, but then we'll take a break one more time.
At last, the glorious days of television are back. Welcome to Providence Television International, founded and powered by the one and only Emmanuel Igariwa, the multiple award-winning producer. Providence Television International, reaching out to the world with very attractive and irresistible programs. With Providence Television International, it will be pleasure unlimited. We are also at your service for social event coverages and live streaming on our channel. You can reach us at our corporate headquarters, 42 Igbesaman Street, Benin City, or telephone 08033 511 599. And to connect with us on live transmission, simply log on to YouTube and then type Providence Television International and you're good to go. Subscribe and let us give you the utmost satisfaction on television. It's a promise. Providence Television International, the game changer.